Mark Duda joining us once again from Lackawanna College here on the Mendola Show at our Carol and Janelle and the Takeaway Kitchen. And Mark, a long trip this past weekend, a Sunday affair. Let's talk about how you guys made out.
Yeah, it was a heck of a trip, about 7.5 hours, in southeast Ohio. We won 62-6. We played really, really well and beat Hocking out there, which makes us right now 8-0, which is a good place to be. And now our next game coming up next Sunday, New Jersey Warriors out in New Jersey. So things are going really well.
And you guys mentioned a little bit about it. It's all Sunday affairs from here on out. Let's talk first offensively. You put up that many points. There's a lot of guys that we could point at.
Yeah, they did a great job. Offensive line, you'll meet our center, Jerome Brown, today. We had 400 yards rushing the ball, which is, it's hard to lose when you rush for 400 yards. Threw the ball well as well. So it was a great outing for our guys. And, we just keep on rolling on, which is really, really good. And a lot of younger guys got to play, which is super for the program.
Defensively, again, another fantastic effort. Just giving up a touchdown overall. Let's talk about some of those guys defensively.
Yeah, defensively was great because we had 4 picks. You'll meet Ben here in a second, but we picked the ball 4 times and held them to very, very little yardage. I think it was a good defensive effort overall. I think the special teams worked well too. So it's been really, really good. And so it's positive. It's one of those seasons you can't wait to play the next game.
And New Jersey Warriors, how much right now do you know about them? You're breaking down film. You're starting to get into that. Again, with the Sunday game and getting early in the week here, you probably have just gotten off of where you were on a long road trip, and you'll start putting some attention there.
Yeah, it puts you back a little bit. Today's Monday, and we got in 2:30 in the morning this morning. So we watched them a little bit. They're pretty good. They played Monroe with some common opponents that we have. So we like some of the stuff that they do. We'll be ready to install tomorrow on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be our practice days, the meat of our practice. And then Saturday, we'll travel this time, same day.
You talk about this time of the year. How much are things heating up in the recruiting affairs for these guys? Or you're starting to almost approach November here, and teams are starting to look.
Yeah, it's starting to happen. Texas has been in, Syracuse was in, Temple was in today. Everybody's going to start to come in now. When they have their open weeks, so when they have their bye weeks, they come to see us, and that gives us a great opportunity for our kids to be seen. We'll have a whole bunch of recruited players this year, there's no question.
Up and down that offensive line, we've talked about the depth that you have and guys stepping up. Talk about the impressiveness that you see with them day in and day out.
What really impressed me about them, first of all, they've been, by our standard, they've been together for a year and a half, which is really a long time. They're all 5 of those guys are Division I players, and the 3 backups are as well. And they work so together against games and stunts and everything. They work and communicate so well. So I think you'll meet a guy today who really kind of runs the whole show. His nickname is a General because he is the general out there, our center, and he allows us to make calls on the line of scrimmage and do a great job with all the fronts and stunts that we see.
Mark Duda, best of luck this weekend against the New Jersey Warriors.
Thank you.
Jerome Brown joining us right now from Lackawanna College, part of that big offensive line. Jerome, let's talk a little bit about the guys around you, and there's a lot of meat up front, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. We're big up front. We work hard in the weight room. We grind every day in the class, off the class, study hall. Everything we do 100%. And we hold each other accountable. That's what makes us so good up front. We hold every one of us accountable.
How about some of the friendships that you've developed with some of those guys up front?
Friendship, that's not even a word. Those are really my brothers. They see me at my worst. They see me at my best. We uplift each other.
Coach Duda, let's talk about his influence on you. Coming in as a young guy and you're leaving as a man. I mean, that's what I hope any program would do, but with Coach Duda, I think that's what you're getting, right?
Yes, sir. He definitely taught me a lot how to look at life without football and also how to look at life with football. He taught me how to be a better man in the classroom, how to carry myself as a champion.
Talk a little bit about learning about yourself in the classroom part. And, you get to Lackawanna College, you know what you have to do, but the time you start and the time you finish to get to that next level. So talk about the beginning and getting your feet wet and saying, okay, now I got to do this. Now I got to make sure I ask some of the guys on the team, what's up with this professor? How do I handle this class? How do I get that paper done?
I mean, it's all more of the little things, sitting in front of the classroom, asking questions that you don't know. Even if you do know, just to be sure, it's all the little things. They look at all that. One thing I can say about Lackawanna is definitely helped me. It's more so if you want to do it.
Talk about back home. Where you're from and what was life like in high school?
I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I moved down to Charlotte, North Carolina. I played for Powerhouse Miller Creek out of Charlotte, North Carolina. It's different. The lifestyle, the environment, the people, hospitality, everything's just different.
Take us through your family. Who's rooting for you, whether it's in the stands or sometimes maybe it's over the phone?
Mother, I love to shout out my mother. She made me who I am today. She's always had my back. My father, he's there. And I would like to shout out my brother, my sister. I love all of them.
Let's talk about the siblings. How old are they? And they looking up to you? Are they helping you out?
Yeah, my little brother, he's 19 years old. He's down in South Carolina at Benedict College. My sister, she's 23. She just graduated culinary school. And I know they both root for me. They give 100% effort to try to make every one of my games.
Where do you see yourself going? The next step for you, is it wide open right now for you?
Yeah, it's open-minded. I'm pretty much, I'll go to anybody who needs me. Anybody that needs me to start right away, I'll play.
Let's talk about the selling tools. What do they get when they get Jerome Brown?
Coachable player, a baller, aggressive technique. On the field, I give 100%. Off the field, I give 100%.
Great to hear. And of course, down the road, life after college, what do you see yourself doing? Business, maybe?
Yes, sir. Business. Absolutely business. Hopefully take over my dad's truck driving business.
All right. Well, it's great to catch up with you here. We wish you the best coming up against the New Jersey Warriors on Sunday.
Thank you, sir.
Ben Wyboa joining us from Lackawanna College here on the John Mendola Show. And Ben, let's talk a little bit about your role on the team, where you play, and what you do for your team.
All right. I play strong safety for the Lackawanna Falcons, and that's the deepest safety on the field because we have three safety systems, and then there's two corners. So we have Jaquan and Braden Brown down at the field and boundary safety, and we have Robert Kennedy at the left corner and Jair Brown at the right corner, and we have me as like the one high look. So I mean, I rotate to like the strong side of the field and kind of like decide off of that.
Man, I went through this whole secondary this year. You guys are deep in that secondary, but I think I interviewed every single guy. Let's talk a little bit about the players around you. There's just everybody's making everybody better.
Yeah, starting with our linebacker captain, Andre Blackie. He's like the heart and soul of our defense. He's a big physical backer. We have Dylan Harris, who's also a backer. We have Mark Parker. And obviously you guys know Jaquan Bursker. He's going to Penn State and all that. He's a really good character and a really good leader on our team. We have a kid that actually went to the same high school as me in Morgantown, West Virginia, Cameron Henderson. He was a starting corner for the Falcons last year, but then he made the transition to safety. So now he plays and splits reps kind of with Braden a little bit. So I mean, like then, so they kind of rotate. But yeah, Cam's a really good player.
You hit up Morgantown, West Virginia. That's your hometown. So talk a little bit about what's it like growing up there.
Just a lot of fishing, a lot of free time, a lot of quiet. I grew up going fishing, hunting, all that stuff. So country boy, I like having my privacy. I'm really independent, so I'm not like a big city type of person. I like having space and quiet.
Let's talk about what you like to fish for. Trout, bass. Everybody's kind of got their favorite.
I like catfish, because like just a bottom feeder, aggressive fish, and they're all over West Virginia. Trout, I go to creeks and streams to find some rainbow trout and all that. So just a fish like that.
How about over on the hunting part? What kind of animals have you hunted for, and any successful hunts?
I went hunting 4 times in my life, and I caught, or not caught, I shot 2 deer, and I wouldn't say it was a recent part of my life. It was like the 12, 13 range.
Sure.
I mean, it was like kind of God, okay, you shoot here, like that.
Gotcha.
So, but I mean, I'm more of a fishing type of guy, because hunting and all that, it's just a lot of quiet and focus and all that stuff.
All right, I'm similar to you. I tried the hunting thing. I wasn't that good at it, but gave it a shot in my younger years.
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit about Coach Duda and being around this program at Lackawanna College and what the experience has been like.
It's been a great experience. I've had great players I came in with as a true freshman, like Dylan Harris and Jaquan, just coming in with all of them and just bonding and carrying that over to this season. That's why we're 8-0 and conference champs and all that. I feel like all that team bonding and chemistry just carried over to the season, and that's why we're doing so well.
You talk about life after college, and of course we'll talk about that next step momentarily, but what are you thinking down the road, 5-10 years from now?
Probably still around the game of football as a football coach. Probably just coaching, hopefully at the collegiate level. Probably start out as a graduate assistant at whichever school I end up at, and then I'll try to work up from there.
I like the plan. I mean, you're already focused on that next step, and let's talk about that school that's going to be lucky enough to get you. Does it matter where you go? You have any things on the radar right now?
I have an offer from Morgan State University right now. I'm talking to other schools in the MEAC conference too. I have a preferred walk-on to West Virginia University, so I mean that's a hometown to them. So I mean, talked to Rutgers a little bit earlier in the year, Rice, and just schools like that.
Well, it sounds like there's some good options out there, and
Yes,
your stock. Talk about your stock and being around these players, and obviously college coaches are coming in all the time. Coach mentioned, hey, at Texas or Syracuse or Temple coming in this past week, so there's always guys around, and you have people like Coach Duda talking you up. Talk about the selling point for you. What are they getting when they get your services as a student and as an athlete?
Oh, well, for me, I'm a student athlete, obviously, so the grades come first. And I haven't had anything under a 3.0 here, but I had a 3.5 my last 2 semesters, and I have all A's and 1B this semester, so school is a huge part of my life. Like, my dad's a math professor at West Virginia University. My mom's going back to school to be, and she's getting her doctorate degree, so school is a major thing in my family. And yeah, so I think the aspect of school would be fine for me, but athletically, I feel like you're getting a tall safety that can hover over the field, a ball hawk type of guy, just go, I guess, get interceptions, I guess.
Let's talk about that family back home, how much support you get from them, and how often you're texting or calling or having some of those messages maybe on the computer.
I call my mom before every game. I played since high school, so I mean, I used to pray with her before games out of high school, obviously like face to face because I lived with her. But in college, she just recently moved to Baltimore, Maryland, so it's about 3 hours away from here. So it's actually closer to Morgantown than here. But I call her before every game. I call her actually every night. I call my dad 4 or 5 times a week. I call my girlfriend. I call my brothers and sisters and all that. So I mean, it's a great family feel and just a great connection.
Another selling tool. They're getting a family guy with you, and a grounded guy as well. We wish you the best at the next level and continued success.
All right. Thank you, sir.